Sable's sort of held a magical place in my own mind, and it's just always been a place that I've wanted to visit.
Sable Island for me represents an untold story, one that begins with a story about a bad reputation. An island that's way out in the middle of the ocean that's known as the graveyard of the Atlantic. An island that is known for its shipwrecks and its sharks and its foul weather. And I want to paddle out there because I know it to be that, and I also know it to be a place of incredible beauty.
Over time, I've sort of realized that, yeah, it's not that far and that we could reach it. And by doing so, we could actually raise awareness to a cause that we're both very passionate about, which is sending kids to camp.
First and foremost, the goal of paddling to Sable Island, simply put, is to raise awareness. To raise awareness about the fact that more than ever before, youth struggle with various different mental health disorders, whether it be anxiety or depression. There's lots of different types, lots of different monikers, but we want to be able to help those youth because often those youth, more than anybody else, feel helpless. And we want to be able to make sure that those youth get the attention that they deserve and they have the opportunities to get outside because often they don't.
We do really believe in sending these kids to camp. Both Jan and I are avid enthusiasts about the outdoors, about sea kayaking, about camping, about any related adventure outdoors. And so by sending these kids to camp, we hope to get them excited about going to camp and being outdoors and having fun in the wild.
There's been a stigma around mental health as long as it has been a definable term. Mental health is hard to diagnose. It's hard to know whether or not you are living in it, you're associated with it. It's not like something that's really physical. It's not cancer, it's not diabetes. It's not something that you can put your finger on. And for every person, it's very different. My relationship with it will be different than somebody else. So does it get enough attention? Absolutely not.
The ultimate goal of paddling to Sable Island is to raise $25,000. $25,000 will allow us to send 25 kids to Camp Brigadoon. The kids that we're trying to send are from Chisholm Services for Children.
Youth from Chisholm Services for Children have had very few opportunities to experience the world as we know it. In many cases, they've known very, very little of their community. They've known little of the beauty that can be found outside. When you're worried about where your next meal is going to come from, or whether or not mom or dad, or the person who's supposed to care for you most in the world is even going to come home, then all the other things that should matter for a healthy childhood just seem to slip away. So for these kids to reconnect to the outdoors, to reconnect to nature and to adventure is vital for a healthy development. For as long as I can remember, at least my entire adult life, I've struggled myself with mental health. I've known what it's like to wake up in the middle of the night fraught with anxiety. I've known what it's like to feel depression. And I've known what it's like to feel the other side of those symptoms as well. I know what it's like to be able to see the difference that being outside of the natural world can make. And I get to experience that on a day-to-day basis in my professional life as I work in mental health and addictions at the Children's Hospital here in Halifax, the IWK. And every day I get to see the struggle, but also the joy that comes from trying to process that relationship, from trying to understand it, and not letting it be a feature that defines you, but that empowers you.
Just his passion for the kids that he's been working with brought to light my own memories of seeing some of the kids that I've taught over the years, and just became a cause that I truly wanted to do something for, and a group of kids that I wanted to send to camp. So the union of Chisholm and Brigadoon is something that we've worked hard to try to bring together, and hopefully with our goal of raising $25,000 and sending these 25 kids to camp, we can achieve that and get these kids outdoors. Getting outside, going on any sort of adventure is crucial for youth.
Youth today are bombarded on a 24-hour basis by different stimuli, whether it be coming from their parents, whether it be coming from their friends, whether it be coming from television or social media. There's a desire more than ever before to have to fit in, to have to be known, to have to be anything, but not necessarily be themselves.
We're doing this paddle to Sable as a sort of catch to people to try to say, hey, look and listen to our cause. We're trying to send these kids to camp. But ultimately, one of the reasons we're doing it is because it's an adventure for both Jan and I. And we're just excited about trying to raise awareness about going outside, having different adventures, having fun in the outdoors.
The challenges that exist for paddling to Sable Island are many. First of all, in terms of preparation, to know that you have the right team in place, to know that you have the right training in place, to know that mentally you're up to the task. The physicality is certainly a difficult one and one that we train hard for, but to know that you can sit there in one spot focused on the end goal of being way in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, out there in the fog in the night, has a lot of parallels to a struggle with mental health. To feel alone, to feel vastly alone, to feel completely disconnected from the rest of the world is something that we'll have to face for long periods of time. To stay functional for 24 hours straight is no easy task. Just to stay awake that long is hard enough, but to do it while being physically active is exceptionally difficult.
In the beginning about this whole project was to raise awareness about this camp that we were trying to create. It does not even have a name yet. We've been in conversations with both Brigadoon Village and Chisholm Services for Children about sending these kids from Chisholm to Camp Brigadoon, and those are partnerships that we're continuing to work with. So in a perfect world, we've raised our $25,000. Even beyond that, I guess one of the challenges is we're gonna create this fund, and we're gonna try to create this camp, but we don't have the resources to create a camp that will last for years and years and years. So hopefully people will jump on board, continue to support this project, and actually through the filming of a documentary about this, hopefully that will create awareness about this camp, and people will continue to support it years down the road, that will have a fully sustainable camp out there in Brigadoon Village for the youth of Halifax who struggle with mental health.
The time is now that people understand that mental health isn't something that you don't talk about, that you get out there and that you understand that everybody has a relationship with mental health. And in order to make your relationship all that much more positive for your mental health, go to battledisable.ca, click donate, and let's get these kids to camp. You'll feel better, and so will they.